Hey you, it's Jess here, and it's so nice to see you at my channel. Today we're doing a February plan with me for the 9th through the 15th, the week of Valentine's Day. And I'm using this older Scribble Prints Co kit, which is like a rose. And this was a Valentine's art I did, not last year, but I think the year before. And I would have drawn it in December, so the year previously as well. But yeah, so I still had this in my collection. I'm like, I wanted to bring out a more romantic Valentine's spread, so I thought I might as well use it up for my collection. It is an older format, but still it works perfectly. It's basically just the date numbers and date covers that are changed format. And I just saved some date numbers from a previous SPC kit that I used. I've decided that in this planner I kind of want to use the SPC date numbers throughout the whole year, so I've been collecting and saving the date numbers from each kit so I can like reuse them if I don't have them on an older kit. So yes, that's what I did for this spread. They don't quite match, they're a much hotter pink, but I think they will do for now. They look fine. And I paired it with a Champagne Lights foil bundle from SPC. This is just a sparkle foil bundle. I think when I used this the other year, when I used it originally, because this is sort of, I bought two, I think. I used a Caress Press one previously, and I used a pink or purple foil last time. But I thought this time, I've already used pink in the month, so I'm going to use gold, just to make it a bit more, I don't know, it just gives a different feeling with some gold in it. And well, I can't go past sparkly Champagne Lights, so that is what I used. We're just going to do the usual color blocking. So when I drew this art, it's called Like a Rose because I was inspired by one of my favorite boy band songs, A1, Like a Rose. And it was so funny, I was listening to my boy band playlist on shuffle while I was doing all of my February bases. And when I started doing this base, because this is the second base for the month, the song came on, Like a Rose. So when I was doing the base, I was listening to Like a Rose by A1. Definitely check it out if you want to. Maybe I'll leave a link down below for the song on YouTube. If you want to listen to the song, it's super pretty. I loved it when I was a preteen. I think I was like 12 or something when I really got into A1. They're kind of like a very obscure British boy band who, one of the members is also Norwegian, so I feel like they're also fairly big in Norway as well. But yeah, I just got really into them when I saw them during a thing for a British concert thing that used to happen in the 90s called Smash's Poll Winners Party, which used to play in Australia all the time, every year. So that's how I got into that random English boy band. But I do love their music. It's super fun. And they wrote them themselves, which is really cool. But anyway, just thought that was funny that the song came on while I was doing the bass on my shuffle. But let's finish up the bass and start the day by day. So here we are, day by day. I have the audiobook I was listening to this week, which is an echo of things to come. Just so much easier to write this in the sidebar and then put read throughout the spread. Because it's a long title, and for some reason I just like to write the title of the books that I'm reading in here so I can, when I look back at these planners, they're not just full of read and I have no idea. I like to have a little bit more detail where I can. I don't know, it just makes me happy. But we'll start off the day on Monday with our Coffee Monday, as always. And then I did have my February reading journal spread go up. So put Coffee Monday in with this cute PaperKay coffee sticker. And then we have the February reading journal, and then I was playing Heartopia in the morning. We're still playing a full week of this game. Once again, I must iterate. I do not recommend playing this game. I played it for far too long, in my opinion. The next week in the planner, I stopped playing Heartopia, finally. It just finally got too on my nerves, I had to quit playing it. So if you want to see the rant and you missed it, it was the Enchanted Winter plan with me, where I rant about the game and why I quit playing it. But once again, we should continue on. I just want to be able to, I still just want to include these things in my planner because that's what I was doing. And I'm still having much more fun on the game that replaces Heartopia. So and we'll get into that next week, which will be great. So the rest of the time, so I didn't really do any work this day. Sometimes Mondays I just give myself a little break because I don't know. I'm definitely, I'm definitely very Garfield coded because Mondays I'm always like, Mondays. I still have to sort of wrap my head around starting the week. So I was just watching YouTube this day, and then I had some tea, which I don't have all the time. Drank some tea, watched some more of Fargo. I guess we were watching season 4 of Fargo at this point. And then I finished my book, Chaos Vector, which is a sci-fi book by Megan E. O'Keefe. And this is the second book in the trilogy, and I do recommend it. I think it's a really good trilogy. I haven't read the third book yet, but I enjoyed the first 2 books. But I finished it on this day. Alright, so that was Monday. So on Tuesday, we once again were putting in that game. And then I was doing work on a custom for SPC. I'm going to put it in a box here in the middle. And then I was, while I was working, I was listening to An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. Bring out these PaperKay iPads as well, which I'm running out of. I should probably do a PaperKay order if I can. I haven't ordered for a while, so I'd have to look into that. But that was the morning. Alright, and then I'm going to put a fancy label at the bottom for my reading. Alright, so then we also watched some more Fargo, and I think from the looks of it we finished Fargo. So yeah, we binge watched the Fargo shows, the seasons. I think this was the last Fargo. The one which has like John Hamm and Juno Temple, and yeah, so it was a good season. And I saw that one of the actors was in the dad in the show, in the Fargo season, was in Alien Earth, which we do enjoy the Alien series, the Xenomorphs, and hadn't watched Alien Earth, so we're like, okay, let's try out Alien Earth. He's in it, so it'll be a good extension of that. So we started Alien Earth this day as well. We also got KFC for dinner, and I started the next Murderbot book, which was Fugitive Telemetry, and yeah, really enjoyed that. So yeah, I really love the Murderbot books. I'm caught up until the new one now. I think the new one just came out, but I haven't obviously gotten it yet. But I was reading Fugitive Telemetry. I think this is the 6th book. But actually, the 5th book comes after the 6th book in actual chronological order. So, but anyway, I was reading them in publication order. But that was what I started reading this day. The only thing with my system is now I'm going to have to write Fugitive Telemetry a few times. But that's okay. That's easier than writing An Echo of Things to Come, Anyway. Wednesday, played the game in the morning. And then I also did some laundry. I'm going to use this curved box for laundry. And then working on the custom. Alright, so put those stickers in. So you can see this was an older foil bundle, so I've got the older work scripts. I don't mind I like pulling in work scripts, but otherwise I'm trying to write everything else in. But I don't know, I just really like the look of having a work script instead. Laundry. Then I need to mark that I was listening to An Echo of Things to Come. At the end, I want a little thing. Yes, okay. What an interesting way that I did this. Anyway, just the way that I've put this in. It's just to fill it in because I didn't have as many things to put in this day. Alright, so I was listening to An Echo of Things to Come. And then we started the TV show The Burbs, which I actually really recommend. I thought it was really, really fun. I love the 90s or 80s film, I guess it is, for The Burbs, the original one with Tom Hanks. It is so good. I've loved it as a kid. And this is not, it's not a sequel. It's not really a reboot. It's inspired by The Burbs. So it's kind of like the same kind of neighborhood. And it's about Keke Palmer and Jack Whitehall as a couple with their baby moving into their house, his parents' house. And there's like having to get to know the people on their street and their new neighborhood in town. And there's a really weird house across the street. And yeah, so I think it's a really good like modern take, more contemporary take on The Burbs. Because The Burbs is a little problematic from when it was based. Like, it's super fun and funny, but it is about the weird foreigners who live next door, which is not great. But which I understood even then. I'm like, I still don't think weird people living next to you was weird as a kid. I was just told, like, this is a movie. It's fictional. But yeah, I think it was a really good modern take on the Burbs idea, and of like obviously the whole paranoia and suspicion in the suburbs. And I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was pretty funny. And I'm hoping it gets renewed, because they do end it kind of on a it's kind of ends on a like annoying thing, but like not in a bad way, but you mostly learn the mysteries. So it's not like a super cliffhanger, but you still want to know more, right? But there is a whole mystery in there, and it's not too bad of an ending, so it's not frustrating if it gets cancelled. But I do recommend The Burbs. I thought it was really fun, and I really enjoyed Keke Palmer. I haven't watched much of her stuff before, and I enjoyed it. And there's also obviously some really funny people in it too. A couple of other really funny actors that I love, so really enjoyed that. And then we're watching more Alien Earth, which I put like this blood droplet for it because I enjoyed Alien Earth like overall, but I kind of preferred like the human stories, which I know kind of sounds crazy because it's supposed to be about the xenomorphs, but I feel the xenomorphs felt very it was like very, very gory and kind of gross, and a lot of body horror stuff. And I didn't like it as much. I felt like it was a bit too in your face compared to the original Alien films, which, especially the original Alien film where you barely see stuff happening. Yeah, so overall I didn't love that part, but I did love the human story part. Which, yeah. Oh well. I was one of those people like, less xenomorphs, more people, please. Which is not everyone's opinion, but that was just mine. I also say Alien Earth is like a different, it's not the same universe. It's like a parallel universe kind of idea with the xenomorphs. But that is the first half of the week. I think it turned out really cute. I always love when the colors fill out, and it's just the color blocking makes me so happy when you get to see them in the rows. So Thursday, played that game. My last week of playing it. And then I was journaling. I surprisingly do a lot of journaling on a Thursday that I've found so far, planning out my planner. It's always interesting when you do these planner spreads. It's like you kind of start to see your own patterns. Like how when I was doing my PhD, I found every Wednesday I marked that I was depressed. So now it's like I do journaling on Thursday apparently. So Heartopia journaling, and then I did more work on the custom journaling. And then I'm just going to mark that I was listening to more of the book. The book takes a long time because I think it was something like 35 hours long or something. It's a big fantasy book. So it took a while. So let me put in these other two stickers. So reading the book, watching The Burbs, watching Alien Earth, and then reading Fugitive Telemetry. Yeah, the usual so far. We get, I build up these sort of routines of the TV shows and books that I'm enjoying in the evening. Alright, that's Thursday. On Friday, I'll just put that in again because I was playing it every morning as part of my morning routine. Then I did, how do I want to do this? Then I did some laundry, and then we ordered from this cafe for the first time called Daebak Cafe. It is Korean, so I probably said that wrong, but it's Korean cafe, and they had like those jiggly cat cakes where you can like the mousse cakes that jiggle and the cat's like burp. And they had some different coffees and different treats, so like Korean stuff. So we tried out that cafe and it was very nice, very cute. In fact, let me find it on my phone. I'm going to put it here on the screen, the video that I took of the treat that we got from the Korean cafe. Just a jiggling. I thought it was really cute and fun to try this sort of viral kind of cake. And then it was, so let me put a fancy label for Fugitive Telemetry at the bottom. But then it was also the Pit Day, and it was Alien Earth, and the Burbs. So just getting all of our shows in. I feel like for like a horror kind of show, like Alien is sci-fi but also horror, I think. It's good to put in a less scary show in the middle of it, just to like branch it out a little bit, just to lessen it a little. Again, I'm using these reading stickers from Papershire that were like a seasonal freebie again, because they like the first week of January I used them and I thought they went perfectly with the spread too, with the pink bubble and the prettiness, so I'm so glad I got to use them again. And now I've used most of them up, so that's awesome. It's what you want. You want to use up your collection, right? So I'm going to put this down here for, for my book for later. So at the top, we've got playing the game. Oh wait, no, at the top is Valentine's Day. So what do I want to use to mark Valentine's Day? Maybe I'll use the curved box. And then we have a little thing for the game. And then, from the looks of it, we finished, I think, both the Burbs and Alien Earth that day, the previous day. So we started watching Andor. I don't know, like, let's on a roll. Let's try out Andor. I know I used to be a big Star Wars person, but I honestly got super burnt out. Pretty much when the last sequel film came out. What was it called? I can't remember. I enjoyed The Last Jedi, and then I saw the last book, the film of the trilogy, which is actually the last film I saw in cinema before COVID started, which is quite funny, and didn't really love it. And I kind of got burnt out from Star Wars from there, but I heard so much good stuff about Andor. I didn't really like the other TV shows. We tried out the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we tried out the Mandalorian, obviously, but wasn't really into them, but heard very different stuff about Andor, and did really enjoy it. So we started Andor here, and we watched all of it. So yeah, I very much recommend Andor, especially because Luck and I do love the Rogue One film, so it made sense. Andor, and then we got some mail in this day. We got we splurged on some La Crusade items. We've been baking in this 9x9 dish like half of our meals. We use it a lot, this 9x9 dish. And I bought this one, I think it was like Nordic Ware or something, and it's like a non-stick, but it was like already destroyed after using it for like a year, 2 years. Probably 2 years, I think. And so like, we use this so much, the 9x9 pan baking dish, we should just invest in a high quality one that will actually last us. So we bought a La Crusade one. The 9x9 pan is a bit cheaper than some of their big Dutch pans. And then we also treat ourselves to a little version of the Dutch oven pots with like a little lid, a little tiny pink one, and we put our salt in it. Apologies, I got a tickle in my throat. I had to go get a drink. But we got also the mini Dutch oven in pink, and we put our fancy molten salt in it. It's like a finishing salt, but we use it for like, it's a fancier salt. So we keep that on the counter, and it's really nice to have like a pretty container for it. And there was also a sale on the site for some little ramekins, so we got those as well. So we could use them as ramekins, or we also use them for like snacks and treats and things, like chocolate covered raisins, because we're obsessed with those. So yeah, we did a little shopping at La Crusade. The other things were on sale, and we kind of needed something for our salt because the molten box gets really, really annoying and messy, especially when you're using the salt for months, because we don't use a lot of it. So it's nice to have its own container, and now we have a really good baking dish that is holding up perfectly. But we're going to do that because we'd gone through 2 baking dishes at this point. We use it all the time for like our honey harissa. We put our our dips, and we put nachos, and we put cakes in there. We just do a lot of baking in there. So and 9x9 is a perfect size for like 2 people. So yeah, we treat ourselves to those, and we got those on Valentine's Day, which was really fun. It's our fancy gift to each other. Then we did our meal prepping for the next week's lunches. We got a fancy dinner. Well, it's a fancy like burger chain, but they also do other things. But it's called Burgers and Wine Restaurant, and it's like a fancier burger chain. So we had burgers and wine, and then I finished Fugitive Telemetry. All right, now let's go into Sunday. I did play. I'm gonna put this at the bottom for my book. I also did play the game Autopia. I also did some laundry. What am I going to put in for laundry? I'll just use another one of these fancy labels. Although then I got I'm going to move some stuff around here because it's gotten a little confused. Okay, I'm going to switch this to this fancy label. So we've got Autopia, laundry. I've switched out Andor, and I'm going to put it next because it's just too much space left over for Andor. So I was playing Nikki, but I do play it every single day. Beanie Nikki. And then we'll put in Andor. And then we were watching some of the Olympics during this time. I can't remember exactly. We watched a bit of like the downhill ski jumping, like where they do a cool flippity flop, and then there was some like also like also snowboarding down a hill and doing tricks and stuff while they snowboard. And we didn't watch too much of the ice skating, but that was one of the stickers that I had on hand. I don't know what else we watched. We watched some of the was it luge? The one where they go down the pipe. Anyway, we watched some very random Winter Olympic stuff, whatever was playing on Finnish TV at the time. And then I started a different sci-fi book called The Terraformers, which is like about in a future world where companies terraform whole planets. And it's like a private company is terraforming this planet, and they create beings, human-like people, but also animals and stuff, who help terraform and build up the planet over thousands of years until it's ready to be sold. And it's kind of covering that time. It covers multiple periods of the planet being terraformed. From the point of view of the people who are looking after the planet, trying to terraform it, who are owned by the company. So there's a lot of politics in terms of private companies and about terraforming planets and ownership. So, yeah. I overall enjoyed it, but I felt like it was a bit too ambitious. Like, it didn't quite hit the mark. But and there was a lot of very weird stuff in it, which was interesting. But, yeah. So I started that this week. So that is the finished last half of the week. looking so pretty. I do love the pops of gold in here, and it's also nice and light. I feel like it doesn't take away from the spread overall. So now I'm going to put it into the planner and we'll finish up. So that is the finished spread. Of course, all purple spreads are going to look so good in this purple planner for the first half of the year. But I love the way the spread turned out, and I just love champagne lights. It makes me so happy. Such a perfect sparkly gold. And yeah, it was a really good week. You know, we got work done, we watched a whole bunch of TV, finished a book. So I love the way this came out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this plan with me. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Like last week, maybe just leave down below some heart emojis to let me know that you've enjoyed it in the comments. Let me know if you've enjoyed, like, read these books or watched these TV shows. I'd love to hear what you thought about them. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.